Hello and welcome to Relatable Bitches podcast. I'm your host, Hina.
And I'm your host, Marge. We're so excited to have you here with us today.
This is the space where we will dive into all the messy, beautiful, and totally relatable aspects of life. From family and friends to career struggles and everything in between. We're here to keep it real and have some fun.
That's right. Our goal is to create a community where we can laugh, cry, and feel understood. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's get into today's episode. The Relatable Bitches podcast is for entertainment and informational purpose only. It may contain mature themes and sensitive topics. The views expressed do not constitute professional advice and should not replace expert consultation. Personal stories shared are unique to individuals and not universally applicable. The hosts, producers, and associated parties are not liable for any consequences resulting from the use of this content. While we strive for accuracy, we cannot guarantee all information is current or error-free. By listening, you acknowledge and agree to these terms. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about religion versus spirituality. And does it go hand in hand? Do you need to pick one or the other? We're going to get into it today. And we have a special guest, Elena from Korozon Guidance.
Hello.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
I should say ladies.
Welcome. Thank you so much for your time
you.
and coming in here and visiting us. I know it was quite a bit far to come in, but go ahead, please tell us who you are, what you do, and everything else.
No, absolute pleasure. So my name's Elena. I run a business called Korozon. I offer guidance to people, so I do readings. I'm a psychic medium, but I also use tools like tarot, coffee. I also do guidance sessions, so they're like life coaching and mindset coaching. So I deal with everyday people that have lots of trauma. Yeah. We've all got a bit of trauma in our life. There's usually something that's always affected us.
Right here. Yeah.
And I also work with athletes doing mindset coaching, so helping them to improve their own mental state in order to achieve their goals with their profession.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So before we get into today's episode, just wanted to give you some defining terms. So we wanted to talk about religion and spirituality. Today we're actually talking about religion as an organized system of beliefs, practices, and institutions centered around faith in a higher power or divine being. And when we're referring to spirituality, we're talking about personal search for meaning, purpose, and connection to something greater than oneself.
Yep.
So as we're going through the episode, that's how you can basically understand what we mean by religion and what we mean by spirituality.
Yep. And I think in the end, it, as much as we can Google it or put it from whatever, people will always have the perception of what they have for what religion is and what spirituality is.
Exactly.
And take it in with a grain of salt when you're listening. If it does make you feel like, no, you're more than welcome to toot it and boot it. I think that's what I'm going to say from now on. Yeah. But awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Be kind in the comments.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
No
look,
hate.
It's a controversial topic.
Yeah.
But it is a very important one to have, because I think at the end of the day, even with the work that I do, like I was raised heavily Christian, so Orthodox Christian, so quite traditional, and it was a bit taboo to do what I'm doing now. It still is taboo, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But through my own journey and life experiences, and I still go to church every now and then, but I still have an altar at home that I pray from, and I have my little things that I put there to help align myself every day. But I also do dabble in spirituality, and I do believe there's two entities that make a person, or for example, making a baby.
Yeah.
It needs the egg and the seed, really.
Yeah, correct.
I think in everything there's masculine and feminine energy, and there's got to be a balance for us to understand. I personally look at God like my dad figure, like my father figure, and I look at universe like the mother figure. And I feel like they work in that way as well. Like the universe kind of goes, hey, watch what you say, because that's what you'll get. Just like a mother would do.
Yeah. Oh, man, you just gave me the goosebumps. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
But I love that, how you just analyze that. I've been trying to figure out a way to blend it. And the way you said, I love that. Goosebumps.
Thank
goodness.
you.
Oh, I love that.
But yeah, like with God and like just with a dad, they like to put obstacles in front of you and see if you're going to fall or try again, and they'll push you to try again and give you the same lesson until you learn. Yeah, I think they both have value. And look, God is a word. If you're from a different faith, use that word that resonates with you. But yeah, one of the things I find in a lot of the people I help is I help people in the queer community as well. Like a lot of my clients are actually from the queer community. Well, I actually have a good range, to be honest. But yeah, like a lot of people lose faith based on judgment.
Yeah, correct.
And when you're going through a lot and you think everyone and everything is out to get you, then what do you turn to and who do you turn to?
Yeah.
And I think just like any good book, you take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And that's what, you know, some people may call blasphemy, but that's what I actually do in my Christian faith.
Yep.
I take what serves me and I leave what doesn't. Because if we look at it, there was an Old Testament and a New Testament. And in the Old Testament, something quite vicious was if a woman cheated, she'd get stoned to death.
Correct.
But if a man cheated, he's expected to be forgiven.
Correct.
I'm like, why couldn't they just both be forgiven or analyze it and separate if it's not going to work?
Correct.
And that comes down to personal values.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I want to just touch base on that, what you just said, is because, like, for me, growing up, it was, like Roman Catholic, and then if we went to Christianity, and as you grow up, you see and new things, and like I even tell them, like, I'm open to see all the other religions or faith or whatever beliefs you have. That doesn't take me away from what my values are and what I coming from what I know. And I know you get in arguments, like I've had a conversation with someone recently and they were like, no, if you stray away from what's actually there, yes, like for me, I believe in the Bible, I believe in the Word of God, but it's always in the whole, like, the person reading it is how they perceive it is what it's going to be.
You just said something really interesting, and it's really funny because, like I said, I'm Orthodox Christian.
Yeah.
And a Pentecostal Christian person actually came to one of my priests and said to him, do you believe in the Bible? And he actually said, no, I believe in God. He goes, but you're a priest. How can you not believe in the Bible? He goes, you don't believe in the Bible. That's like guidance. It's a reference. You believe in God.
Yeah, correct. You know why?
So it's fascinating that you said, I believe in the Bible. And it's a book of reference.
Correct.
But you believe in God.
Yeah, because this is something that I love how you said that, because this is even what they said to me, that they were like, oh, how do you know that, like, that your Christianity is right? Because they weren't Christian. They're like, how do you know? And I was like, oh, this is how it is. I go, but I was like, it's like, because God did this and this. I go, but how do you know? I was like, who told you? And they were like, oh, this other source of belief. And then there, I was like, yeah, but I'm trying to ask, it's like, how do you know? It's, oh, God told me. I was like, how do you know God told you? Did he physically show? And that's me saying, I believe it, because he was like, how do you know? And to me, it's no matter what it is, because I'm an empathetic, I feel things a little bit differently than others. So it's like when I communicate with God in my own way, I do it my own way, somebody else will do it. And I always believe in the end, it's your relationship with God, because you can put the Bible in the front of you, you can put all these references, but it's your relationship with him.
Exactly. And that is across every religion.
Yes. And that's what I was saying.
You know what I mean? So, and even across spirituality, it's
Correct.
your relationship with your higher power.
Correct.
With the universe, with, if you want to call it dog god, like whatever you want to call it. Marge probably has a dog god. It's very interesting, because when you look at spirituality and faith or religion, you look at the same thing. People are looking for answers and guidance.
Thank you. Yes. Exactly.
And it's really sad when people use things like religion or someone's spiritual belief to judge them.
Correct.
Because I think there's beautiful things in every religion. And I actually have clients from every religion. So I don't judge people's religions. I'm like, if that works for you, I'm really happy for you.
Yes.
And it's really, I love actually understanding and learning things from people's religion as well. Imagine if we took the time 5 times a day to pray or meditate to reset ourselves. We would all be much happier people.
Calmer, I bet.
And that's in the Islamic faith. They do that.
5 times a day.
Yeah, exactly. And there's things from other faiths. When the woman is bleeding, okay, we're not going to touch her for 7 days. And in that religion as well, it's actually keeping the hunger of the male alive as well. Because, you know, men always want what they can't have. So I think it was 7 to 10 days. So it's like during the woman's cycle there, you're not allowed to actually have intercourse with your wife and things like that. And each religion is really special, but also if we look back into like the Native Americans, they never judged the queer community. They actually looked at them as special people. So it's just, there's good things and bad things about everyone's spiritual beliefs, because I think in every single thing there's a limiting thought, but you've got to look at yourself as a person and see, okay, these are my life experiences, these are challenges I've had, this is the person I've become, this is what I've experienced, this is what I learned from my family. What do I want to unlearn and relearn, something better and different that serves me more? And what do I want to actually keep? I love Christmas time. My whole family comes together. It is about food, but it's more about presence, actually being there. I'm not, everyone that knows me knows that I'll appreciate you if you buy me a gift, but I will love you if you show up for me when I really need it, and even when I don't know I need it. I think there's so much more value in that.
For sure. No, for sure. No, I definitely, and I think that's why, like in the other episode we recorded was more about with my kids. I want to share with them what I know. And then in the end, they can choose. Some people might not think that, but they can choose where to go. But I feel like if I've done what I've been able to share with them, and they want to do it that specific way, or maybe a tweak of things, I'm okay with that.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3, and do they all have the exact same personality?
No.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Which means they're going to be 3 little different human beings.
Because how they begin the perception, how are they going to perceive, how do they want to execute their whatever they want to do in their life.
And you'll probably find as a mother, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're giving them the fundamental same values, but you do make adjustments for their individual personalities.
Correct. Yep. Because my eldest has a little bit different than it is to my middle and to my youngest. Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think I had actually mentioned in a different episode that we've recorded was, for example, me, I don't think children should be taught religion. I think they should be taught all religions and then let them make their mind when they're ready to make up their mind. I don't think anyone should be like, this is what we believe in because I am this, now you have to be this too. I'm your mother, I'm your father, so my religion is now your religion. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that everyone should just be given all the tools, given all the knowledge, and let them make up their own mind and hope that they actually come to your beliefs. If you do it right.
Yeah, I understand your concept on that as well. It's something I was actually thinking about the other day. I'm like, if I wasn't raised and christened at such a young age and grown up around my Orthodox faith, would I be Christian Orthodox? And even thinking that, I was like, oh, that doesn't feel right. But again, it could have heavily been influenced from my mother, my culture and the way I was raised. So I think that's a very interesting concept. But I do think there was something beautiful about being raised with faith and having strict parents, because when I didn't know who to talk to, I turned to God. My mum still laughs at this. So once I was at Serbian school, actually, so my background's half Serbian, half Macedonian. And it was really funny. I actually asked a question to the priest, and in our culture, as much as they think they want you to ask questions, they don't. They want you to more be quiet and obey. And I find that a lot through a lot of ethnic cultures, not just mine.
Correct.
Like even the Vietnamese girl I grew up with and this person, the person from Africa. We all went, oh my gosh, we could be related.
See, relatable. Relatable. There you go.
Exactly.
We compared notes between parents and went, it really is an ethnic thing. But it doesn't matter what your culture, there's something fundamental that we learn. But one of the things was I asked a question. And long story short, all these ladies were because they couldn't believe I asked the priest a question. Yeah, and I was like...
Just for our listeners out there, because we are a podcast, Elena basically just saying women gossiping and talking at you and things like that. Sorry, we are on a podcast. They aren't all just seeing what we're doing on YouTube, so sometimes just clarifying that.
Thank you, because I was not aware of the camera. Just having normal conversations here, but...
We forget the camera's there, honestly.
Honestly. I just feel like I'm in a room with 2 incredible women having a great time.
Thank you.
But yeah, like, long story short, like, the women started gossiping, and obviously my mother felt embarrassed. So because she felt embarrassed, she waited for a moment to tell me off. And how dare I? And the best thing was I was scared, and then she's, don't cry. Let me more embarrassed. I'm like, okay. But then a miracle happened. My priest came in yelling at my mum, and I've never seen my mum scared.
Wow,
And I was just like, wow, this is new.
You're like, come to my house all the time now.
I was like, I'm in God's house. And he sent my priest.
That's That's really nice.
So after that, when my mum was telling me off and I felt it was unreasonable, I would start praying. And my mum asked me one day when I was 24, she goes, I have to ask you a question. I've always wondered. I was like, yeah. She goes, why when you were younger and I started telling you off, you would start praying to God? She goes, do you know how hard it is to tell a kid off that is praying?
Yeah, that's like my eldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's probably why they go.
Yeah. No, she's,
unjust.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and so when I explained that to her, she started laughing.
Yeah.
And I said, because I called my priest Poppy, because he was my priest, but he was also like my granddad. And my priest has a wife, and I treated her like a grandmother as well.
Yeah.
I didn't have my grandparents when I was younger, and they became my grandparents. So in a way, if I didn't go to church and I didn't go to that church, I would be without that figure of grandparents. So
that's true. There's always a blessing within each. Yeah.
So I really understand your point of view, being open to everything, and that can be really confusing for kids as well, because that's a lot of information. Kids feel more than they understand. We define things for children, but on that same token, it's you're defining their religious belief for them at such a young age.
And you've pushed it upon them.
Yeah.
But I think
you've
that's
not given them any choice to be able to think for themselves in any way, shape or form. You've told them exactly what they need to believe and how to do it. You go to church every single Sunday. You do this, you do that. You pray before bed. There's a set, when it comes to religion, there's a set routine. Exactly. It's like you go to church, it's the same structure. In the Catholic Church, you have the priest that walks down the aisle, then walks up to the altar, and they start the church stuff.
Because you were raised Catholic as well.
Roman Catholic.
I have a question for both of you, actually, and this is something that because again, that's why for my kids, I want it to be like, I want to share with them, but I still want them to see other things. That not where, because I don't know about the other things either, even if I wanted to share with them. My question is, and this is something that I'm trying to learn for myself, is I believe in God, right? And I read the Bible, and a lot of it is in reference to the Bible, but also I feel like when it comes to the spirituality things, and that's why I love how you reference the universe or whatnot, is the mom. I feel like it's a gift from God when things that when it's the woo-woo stuff or the non-normal stuff that people what do you guys think of that?
The woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, because that's what people say to me. Like, I've been told, because I was like, I have feelings about all these things, and it's not something where it's like just my feelings because I'm a girl. People were saying you have damaged feelings, but I could feel it, see, like in my soul. And I guess my main thing is, do you guys feel like when people say, oh, when you think of those things, or you're only listening to yourself, do you think it's as a gift from God, or do you see it as you're just trying to do your own thing, or use it as an excuse to do your own thing?
So I see it as a gift from God.
Thank you. Yeah. Me too.
But I struggled with it a lot because I hid myself as a child for so many years, and even through up until I was, I think, 23, I started acknowledging that it's okay to be me and receive what I see, because I think it's really hard receiving a vision or something or a message and going,
are you sure?
Especially because, for example, in the Bible there's a lot of male prophets. There's women that are quoted, but we're not told about female prophets.
More just like here.
Yes. So it's just, okay, and I know there's a part in the Corinthians that talk about God leaving gifted children behind. But the one thing I was raised with was to be of service to others. I was always a helpful child. And
exactly.
Well, not you two little good girls.
But that's what I mean. But so you feel like it is a gift.
So I feel like it is a gift, because I've literally seen people go from suicide to actually go back into their religious faith. And I've helped people from every religion, and I don't say, oh, be my religion. I'm like, what is your religion? What connects you to that? Have you looked at other religions, or do you still feel connected to yours? Do you feel a bit disconnected from a bad event happening in your life? Because that's happened to me before. I got to a point where I'm like, all I am is like a sacrificial lamb. I'm literally this slave here. I help all these people, and all these bad things keep happening to me. So I felt very abandoned by God, but I didn't realize that God was testing me to actually not be a sacrificial lamb, to be of service. And being of service means you can't look after someone else if you're not looking after yourself.
Same.
Like a lot of people go, I need this person to love me.
Yeah.
Why? Because I don't love me. Then that will never feel like enough.
Correct.
If you don't love yourself, how can other people love you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is an episode.
If you don't
right
like yourself,
there.
nobody's going to like you.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
should I like you if you don't even like yourself?
Yep. But like that, but even my question, do you feel like the spiritual side is like a gift from God?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
You?
I have very mixed feelings about all of this.
Yeah.
Because to me, God is just a title. It's like mum, dad, sister, brother. It's not a thing. It's just a title to something. So for me, to me, everything is karmic. Everything is the universe.
So in your terminology, would you say it's a gift from the universe or a gift from a higher power when you have a gift?
It's not, no. I
No?
just think it's the person. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a gift. It's not gifted to you. There's a lot of people that receive the very same thing. I think
like-
you're blessed to have it, but
Okay.
gift per se,
Whereas I think we all have a different gift.
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So whether you're an athlete, you could be
Yeah.
a really great footballer or
Yeah,
a soccer
yeah, yeah.
player, and
Yeah, yeah.
that's your gift to the world.
say I just say that's you're blessed.
Yeah.
Like you're blessed with that talent,
Yeah.
or you're blessed with that skill.
Yeah.
I can see it that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see
Exactly.
it that way as well. I guess I get the perception, right? Because I've taken it in where I'm coming in from, because the experiences that I've had is totally different from what you both could have had done.
Yeah.
That's why my perspective. That's why I just wanted to ask, because like, I like that we all don't agree in it, because it helps you really, again, share that everybody will have their own perception of things.
And that's
Exactly.
it. But
Yeah.
yet, do you see how none of us are judging the other person, and
Yeah,
we can all
yeah.
respect one another?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
agree to
We
disagree.
can sit
Yeah.
down in a room.
We can listen to each other's perspective.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
thing is that I find your
Exactly.
perspective interesting. I
Yeah.
find your
Yeah.
perspective interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying mine's above yours or below yours.
Yeah,
I'm just
correct.
saying, you know what?
just
This
have
is
a-
what works for me.
Yeah. Again, relatable.
Relatable.
Yeah, and that actually brings me to one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. So you said at the very beginning that you are religious, you're also spiritual. Did you get any backlash when you started going from your religious side to turning more to your spirituality side?
Funnily enough, not from my priests.
Love that.
I didn't get it from my priests, and I got it from people.
So you got it from the community.
Yeah, but I also find it doesn't matter where you go, you're always going to have people that are miserable, that want to make other people miserable.
Yeah.
And miserable people are the most judgmental. They're not the most open to going, oh, that's that person's lifestyle. Oh, I wonder what drew them to that. And to be honest, like the amount of people that are religious that actually come and see me for a reading,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about every religion, I'm not talking about one religion.
Yeah.
But they would never openly tell anyone they do that. They would tell someone else they know in the religious community that also does it,
Yeah.
that, but not anyone else, because they don't want to be told, oh, you need Jesus.
Yeah.
You need to go speak to the priest. And I've literally been told by a Pentecostal Christian before that, oh, you need to go speak to your pastor. You're doing the devil's work. And I'm like, I've led a lot of people back to their faith. How could I be doing the devil's work and yet helping people
That's
have
where you
better
say,
experiences
no, that's
in
my best
life?
friend. When she was born, the devil said, oh, shit.
She did get married in Sin City.
Oh yeah.
It was a dream wedding.
Yeah, I love that. Oh,
But I do
really
love it. It was
that.
great, actually.
Yeah.
The best.
I love Vegas. A lot of things happen in Vegas. That stays in Vegas for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think
I have
both
my
of
thoughts on that.
Both of you had a look. What was that? If you're watching
had-
this on YouTube, you saw that look, right?
That's probably another segment.
You know what? We will do that. We will do my Las Vegas drama as a whole episode.
I love that.
I
love
think
that.
everyone would be very interested to know what actually went down
Yeah.
in Vegas.
For those who
there was
aren't
a lot
Yeah.
of drama. I don't know how there wasn't a fourth movie made.
Honestly.
Oh, I love
honestly.
it. I love it.
I think we both have stories for days in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
The best times we were having were when we were together.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then it was when everyone. So for those who don't know, Marge and I are actually best friends. I've just met the lovely Hannah today.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a complete honour as well.
Yes.
But yeah,
We've been friends for, what, 10, 11 years?
11 years, yeah.
Not yet. It will be going on to 11. No. Hold on.
No,
No, it would have
it
been
would've
March.
been, yeah.
Would have been March.
Oh, I
20
love
and-
that.
Yeah, it was actually really funny how we met, but
That's a story for another day.
that's a story for
Add
another
another
time.
episode.
She thought I was a bitch. Yeah. 100%.
And that title.
I love it. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But just getting back onto the actual topic. So do you find that there's any similarities?
In spirituality and
And
religion,
religion.
a lot.
Yeah,
There's
same.
a lot of similarities.
Can you go through a couple of them for us?
We're all looking for a higher powder to gut powder.
Some people are looking for some powder. We aren't.
Right. Yep.
Not
No,
anymore
thanks.
anyway.
Yeah, no thanks.
I never looked for powder, but sure. Yeah, no, anyone that knows me knows I barely drink alcohol. I've just never been a massive fan. It's not that I won't.
And is that a religious aspect? Is that why you don't? Or is that just your own?
Do you know what it was? It could have been choices from trauma. My dad was an alcoholic. But when I got older, I didn't like the taste. So like everyone was so excited about it. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what they're excited about. Oh, this tastes terrible. I'd rather a soft drink.
Yeah.
Or like just water.
Wow, yeah, I was the polar opposite.
Yeah.
Yummy. I
love cocktails.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Give me more.
Yeah,
What else
same.
can I taste? Let's try gin. Let's try tequila.
Yeah.
Let's try scotch
Yeah,
and
yeah,
whiskey and
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
good stuff.
But who knows, maybe my dislike of the taste could have come from trauma, or it
Can
could have
be.
come just because I just don't like the taste.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of processes differently.
Yeah.
But it's
In
you
the
know,
Catholic Church, it's part of the religion.
Yeah, you
you drink
drink
wine.
wine.
Yeah, same in my
It's not really something that's discouraged per se to drink or anything like that. So, but in some religions, I know they've got strict rules: no smoking, no drinking.
Can't do this.
Can't do this, can't do that.
We have that in our religion as well because you're drinking the wine and eating the bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
And I actually liked warm red wine with the bread, and I don't know why, but that's something I did. I don't know whether it was the brand or the type of wine, but yeah. So when I got that in church, I was like, "Ooh, I like that."
Yep.
Like the first time, I was like, "Ooh, that's a bit better." And the second time, I'm like, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're right. Even that happened to me. But yeah, when I got older, I tried red wine. It's not the same one at church. It doesn't taste very nice.
Yeah.
Tried vodka cruises. Yeah, lolly water. That one I can do. But then I tried other types of things, and yeah. So when I drank, it was more like, it's not because I liked the taste. It's because I was joining in with the friends.
Yeah.
When they finally begged me.
To drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I rarely did.
Yeah,
Still rarely do.
So I just wanted to touch on some common misconceptions
Yep.
that people have about religion and spirituality. So one of the misconceptions is you can only do one. You have to pick.
Yeah.
You either want to be religious or you want to be spiritual. You can't do both.
I think, for me, I think for a long time I hid that I had this spirituality, that I did want to speak with others that had the gift or whatever you want to call it. But now I'm more open to it, because even the kid's dad, he was like, nope, that's A B C D E F G, and I was like, yeah, I was like, but look, like before I was like, I don't want to say I had to ask, but like, okay, I'm gonna go, and he's like, no, you shouldn't do that, duh. But now he won't go, he will never. Well, I don't know. Maybe he'll go in the future, but he's okay. He understands that it's something that I believe in, and it's something. And then that actually only started happening during COVID, because we were all in the same space.
So is your husband not religious?
No, he is. He's very
he is,
religious.
okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't like going to getting my tarot done and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, sorry, Steve, I need to learn how to explain that more. But yeah, he was more of, no, you can't do that, because that's not right, and that's not the thing to do. But now, during the COVID times, and he saw it, and when I even found out that I was an empath, and we went through all these things, and now I feel like I'm really hugging into my gift, or what he's understanding it more. And the only reason is because he's seen it with my eldest. Like he was before, he'd be like, no, don't do that, that's the devil. He never said it like that, but he was always like, no, don't do that. But now he's okay. you could do, I don't care, but I'm not going to. He doesn't participate in it. He never. Even having my kids involved, that was like the biggest thing. He was like, I don't want my kids to.
You're showing him the deck.
Yeah. But now, this is something I don't know if he'd want everybody to know, but he's okay with it because I've gone with 2 of them. And especially even my son, when we went to one and he was just embracing it all, and I was like, what is this kid doing? But he really took on to it. And he loves church. Those are the things I want them to see. Yes, I think.
Yeah, where I was actually growing up with people around me that did tarot, that interpreted dreams, so even though, and they were in my church.
Yeah.
So even though it was taboo, the reality of it was, especially in our part of Europe, we have gypsies.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just, it's not exactly foreign. I even
Do we call them nomads now?
Oh, yeah. Nomads, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Trust me to be politically incorrect. It's just, listen, it's just going to happen. But yeah, so we have that all in our culture, and we still call them gypsies. We haven't made a nomad name in our language. But and that's the thing. They are in Turkey. I know a lot of Turkish people that do coffee readings. A lot, and they're fantastic at it. And they actually know a lot of things to do to take bad energy off and all these types of things when people are sending you like evil eye. And
correct.
So it's really fascinating because I feel like too much of one thing is not good for you.
Yeah.
It's if you ate spinach all day, spinach can be good for you, but not in high quantities.
Correct.
And I think that about anything. And if we look realistically, how are you making a person to accept another person if you're not making them to open to other people?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another misconception that people have is that spirituality is better or more evolved.
Whew.
I say they're very different. They are, to
What do
me,
you
they are
think?
very different. It's not that one is more evolved than the other or anything like that. It's just that.
What do you
just
mean? But what do you mean by
different.
different? Do you feel like one is like the same thing? One is more than the other, or what? Or not? Or they're the same? Like, how does it? What do you mean? Just.
It's just different. Like they're not the same thing.
I think they have a similar foundation though. And what I mean by this is when you pray, you go into a meditative state.
Yeah.
When you're meditating, you're going also into a praying state.
Sure.
So they have similar foundations in a
some.
lot of ways, but they're practiced differently. So, for example, in your culture and my culture with Christianity, if our priest tells us to do something, we're more inclined to do it. If we get guidance from spirituality and the cards say something, we're more inclined to go, cool, that's helped us make a decision. You know what I mean?
Do you think that, because this is what we talked about earlier, do you think that because like me and the kid's dad were both Christian in an umbrella, right? But we practice so differently. Do you feel like culture is a huge impact into your religion?
I think we could all read the same book and interpret it differently.
Yes, thank you.
And
Thank you.
gone to church and had different priests read the same thing and then give a different value at the end of it.
Correct.
It's the interpretation.
Yeah, correct. Exactly.
You know, the same two different people can read the exact same thing and interpret it completely differently.
Because even like it comes from like their background, how they were taught. Again, same thing. If they were pushed into this religion, so they have a different value, they have a different like outlook on it, or or they're just new to this religion, they could have a new outlook to it because they came from a religion that they don't like. So that's what I mean in regard to the perspective. It comes down to that person's relationship with God, with the higher power, with the universe.
And your relationship with each other.
Yeah.
Because I think in relationships, like we have our similarities and we have our differences, but it's how we respect one another, like the three of us sitting here today.
Yeah.
We can agree, we can agree to disagree,
Yeah.
we can just disagree, but we're all still respecting each other because we all still want to be here working with one another. And I think in relationships, you both can be Christian, but practicing your Christianity a little differently. You know?
Yeah.
I've seen people go talk about God like until they're blue in the face and have so much faith, but they're some of the most selfish people I've ever met.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
They're the biggest sinners.
Yeah. It's really funny. Like I've even heard stories of girls and guys that get drunk and do all these silly things on Friday and Saturday, and then walk into church on Sunday
Like nothing
hungover.
happens, yeah.
No, to repent their sins.
Like it's a cycle.
It's a cycle. So that's a fascinating way of looking at your faith.
Yeah. But I think overall, as an umbrella, I think in this episode we're just talking about how it's a matter of respect and a matter of just understanding that there's other perception. People have to perceive things.
Yeah. That's actually really interesting what you just said, because it just reminds me of in the Catholic Church confession. I never felt cleansed after confession.
Yeah, I've never gone.
I didn't. It wasn't like I did it through school because I went to a Catholic school and things like that, but I never would go out of my way to go to confession because I didn't feel cleansed afterwards.
Do you know what? That's a very interesting perception, and something that's similar in spirituality and religion. So where you get the confession and you're actually sharing things that make you vulnerable with your priest. In spirituality, for you to get the best results, you need to be vulnerable.
Exactly.
With your tarot reader, your guide, even with your psychologist if you go see one. Without vulnerability, there's no growth.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of people don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, see, I just never felt better afterwards.
Yeah.
But when I started turning towards spirituality and I started going, for example, to the ocean, and I would stand there and release, I'd have my feet in the water up to my knees or something like that, and I would just release. I'd just let everything out, scream it out, cry it out, say everything negative that's been going on, everything good that's been going on, just release everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I would actually go home and feel better.
Yeah, yeah.
But actually telling somebody and saying to my priest and actually sitting there behind the little wall thing and saying all my sins, I did that with air quotes for those that are just listening on the podcast. I wouldn't feel the same afterwards. It's like confession, I'd feel burdened afterwards.
Do you feel guilty?
Not guilty, just burdened. Like I wouldn't feel any different.
Do you think? No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, do you know what's really funny? I made myself a deal a long time ago to keep myself accountable to tell you anything and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't always feel great after it. I do feel burdened. I'm like, but it's a way of me holding myself accountable.
Right.
There's something about sharing something very vulnerable with another person that it makes it more real for you.
This is the thing though. I can call you and talk to you and I feel fine. Like it's fine. But it's going to church. It's the confessional. It's that aspect of it. Like me having to go into a church, having to sit in that little room inside of the church.
Okay.
And it was too structured for me.
Yeah. Do you think because you didn't trust him?
I was just going to say.
It's not. I'm not saying it. It's not. I'm not talking about you talking to God or talking to. It's because you didn't trust who was on the other side.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Probably because I couldn't put a face to it.
Yeah,
quite
maybe.
possibly.
Yeah, could be,
because I couldn't actually.
Yeah,
you know,
that makes sense,
there was no. It wasn't tangible for me. It's not like here where I can actually like feel her. I know that she's real. They could have put a little voice recording machine on the other side, and I would think that there's somebody there,
Right.
or a random stranger could come in and just sit there and be like, "Tell me, my child."
A homeless guy didn't need a place to stay.
Exactly.
For the day.
No, but
but it is. Yeah.
you see it in the movies.
Yeah. It could be a.
There's
trust
been
factor.
movies about where that's actually happened.
And I think that's regarding connection. Because with the priest that I grew up with, I felt safe with him.
Okay.
A couple of priests after I didn't. So I didn't do confessions. But now with the priests that we have in my church, I feel safe with them. And I can be vulnerable with them.
It could be that then the trust
So
factor.
I feel like it's even like when you go to a psychologist. Like I always say, go to 3 sessions. Because you're going to know if you feel comfortable enough with that psychologist, because that first session's always a bit awkward.
Yeah, the first session is always just you blabbing away of anything and them just looking at you like,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, with their notepad.
Yeah, and it's even like a
Or
reader.
their notepad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's even
Now.
with spirituality. If you get someone that to guide you or do a reading for you, it's a vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
Like you may have a reading from that person, that person doesn't know what they're on about. And it could be that they aren't legit, or you actually just didn't feel comfortable with them.
Yeah, correct.
And you felt like you guys weren't actually connecting.
Yeah.
And then there's people that I've actually done readings for that have never cried.
Yeah.
Actually, this brings me to one girl. So there was one girl that I was doing a reading for in Melbourne, and she never cried. And then she started doing sessions with me. she cried every single session. And 5 minutes into the reading, she starts crying and she can't control herself. And she's like, I've never cried in front of my mum even. How can I not stop crying in front of you? Because maybe your body just feels safe. Your spirit feels safe right now.
Yeah.
And you're actually ready to release as well.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. No,
You know?
Perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, I love this.
good.
Yeah.
So we've only got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
I think, oh gosh, sorry guys, that was my bottle that I was slamming down on the table that you could hear. Do you want to finish off with a little tarot reading?
Yeah.
Little
let's
card
do
throwing?
it. That would be fun. Let's do it. You know me.
it.
Open girl.
We know I know Marge, so we're going to have to look at you, babes.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Marge is like, oh, just,
We just went.
no.
Just so everyone knows that it actually is legitimate.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, isn't that nice? So the first card, that's a good direction. So I saw something general. Are you going in a good direction with this? And it's yes.
Okay.
The key though, like in the middle right now, you've still got a lot that you need to be comfortable with opening up. I think you're still a bit conflicted there. And it comes out with the rats right at the bottom. So it's letting go of a lot of judgments from other people. You've got to look at the people around you. And I really say this in a nice way, like you have some good people, yes. The sun's come out.
Yeah.
You've got some really great people. So make those people relevant and everyone else irrelevant. Because the people that want to talk about you in a negative way or judge you, how much have they actually contributed to you doing better in life? So it's saying,
I feel that.
Yeah, so logically, see the dark path. Yeah, so at the end, look at the green at the end. It's like sometimes with separation, sometimes getting rid of those people, it is better on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we feel loyal to people we've known for 17 years. And why? Because we've known them for 17 years.
Yeah, correct.
But have they evolved?
Yeah.
Are they still negative Nancy? Or are they optimistic Betty? I don't know. But it looks like you're in a transition right now where...
Sorry, I'm just laughing because it's so...
No. So
when I told you when I get nervous, I laugh. Yeah, good, yeah.
Oh, that's fine. That's good. At least
Yeah.
I could make you cry.
Yeah, no,
I
that's the next episode.
What is the next episode?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just be wary of people that, you know, are going to say, because there's a fox here between that, and it's just be wary of people that say they want good for you. You actually can feel when someone doesn't.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And just be like, thank you, and it's energetically push that energy back to them. Just say, what you wished for me, I wish back for you.
Yeah, correct. You're right back at you. Yeah.
Karma.
You're right. Yeah.
Just hold up that mirror.
Right.
Let it
Yeah.
reflect back.
Oh,
Did you
love
have
it.
a specific question?
No, I don't think I could. Not on this podcast, but yeah, no, go ahead. No, I don't have anything specific.
You're actually quite a grounded person.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So-
Like that and like that. I truly, I feel that.
Yeah.
Some people don't think that, but I truly feel that.
No,
Yeah.
you're actually quite a grounded person. Like,
Yeah.
you may not speak to everyone or know how to always communicate your thoughts properly.
Yeah.
But I think that's you sometimes running on an empty tank of gas.
Yep.
Because you're so easy to go, okay, I know how I'm feeling, but I'm just going to put this aside and I'm just going to help everyone else right now because the kids need to be done. This needs to be. You're so easy at doing that, and you're actually starting to change that around. You're actually going, wait, I need to balance myself for myself.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, no, same, yeah.
Elena also hasn't actually listened to any of our recordings, so she has no idea what's in
my brain.
the first few episodes and the next few episodes yet to come
correct.
out on the podcast.
That's why I'm like laughing. Not at you, but like just the whole thing. But
Oh, now I'm more intrigued. I'm like,
no.
You'll have to stay tuned.
Right. Yeah, no, awesome. Yeah.
when you say it like that.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you so much. That was
No,
good.
absolute
Actually, I do
pleasure.
have a question.
Yes.
Since we're
I
here.
knew you did.
Yeah. I have this thing that I'm going to do, and I feel like in my heart, I have to do it. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, I'm going to cry. But I just want to make sure that I should do it or not.
Yeah, so you know how I said you have a question?
Yeah.
I was holding this. Like I actually just separated the deck. And it came out as the sun. That's the most positive sign in the actual whole deck to do something.
Okay, cool
Yeah.
beans. Okay.
So,
Cool beans.
yeah. And if we go further in that, there's a cleansing and a manifestation that is actually going to help your whole household. It's going to help you to build and rebuild.
Yeah.
Or rebuilding. Yeah. Oh, hun. You've got some hard work to do here.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But you've got loyalty. It's just come down to your values because you're a prosperous person, yeah?
Yeah.
So it comes back down as you're going to be abundant. Well, you are abundant in a lot of ways. But you've put yourself in this, let's call it less desirable emotion of yourself in the way you think and feel. But it's time to clean out all of that and to manifest better.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got some really nice stuff ahead. But when I see this here, I really look at your values. Do you speak to yourself the way you speak to someone else? If I was feeling horrible about myself and I was saying,
I'm just
my
shaking.
hair is horrible,
Yeah.
what would you say to me?
I'm like, no, it's nice. It's long. It's wavy. I need volume. Remember I was telling you yesterday? I need volume. Yeah.
But see how you're already putting yourself down by comparing yourself to me.
Yeah.
So you're trying to help uplift me, and then to make me feel better, you're stepping on yourself.
Yeah.
You can empower me without stepping on yourself.
I love that.
And this is something you need to learn how to do.
Yeah.
Because minimizing you doesn't do you any benefits.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me feel good. I don't want you to, because I'm the type of person that I care about you too.
Yeah.
I'm actually not so self-centered that I want you to put yourself down to feed my ego.
Yeah, correct. I love
I
that.
actually love people enough to be like, oh no, you to compliment me or make me feel better when I'm feeling down is one thing, but please don't step on yourself. That's not going to make me feel better. Now I feel horrible that I opened up to you. You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is something that you need to readjust in your values.
Yeah, I see that. Oh man, I just shake it inside. But yeah, okay, thank you for that.
Pleasure.
I needed that answer. So that's good then. Awesome, good times.
If you believe it or not, that actually makes me feel better because when I feel things like we're born with free will. Doesn't matter what religion you are. I don't look into people, even as a medium.
Yeah.
Don't look into people without their permission. And I think this is so important for everyone to hear. If people are gifted or they have some type of gift, and I'm saying this really matter-of-factly, and they're invading your privacy, because it's one thing to receive a message and go, I'm so sorry, and ask permission and deliver something, then go, stop. I'm a medium. I'm going to tell you about your whole life, and here it is. That's like that person wasn't ready to be open to you. You didn't ask permission. You're not asking permission for you to communicate to anyone. Permission is so important, and so I appreciate your permission, because sometimes I can feel things that are projected, but to know what's going on deep down inside, I don't look without your permission. So you giving me permission is also an honor for me, because you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable with me. Thank you.
Fun times. No, thank you. No, it's good. Good times. Good times rolling. All right.
So just to wrap everything up now, Elena, how can people contact you? How can they book? What do you do?
All of the good stuff.
Yes, I'm currently reworking on my website, but you can contact me through korozon.guidance on Instagram or on Facebook. And on there, I've actually tagged a pinned at the top of on Instagram. I can't even speak right.
It happens to all of us at this time of the day. Cocktail time.
Let me repeat that. So you can find me on Instagram or Facebook at korozon.guidance, so KOROSON.guidance. And on the top left-hand pin, there should be my contact details there. So you can either WhatsApp message me, contact me through Facebook or Instagram, and we can book in a reading through there. I will be redoing my website and adding some other links to make bookings as well. It's just been a busy time and haven't got around to it.
We'll have all the links in the description as well. We'll have the links to the social media and things like that. And if need be, just hit us up and we'll put you in contact with us.
Yeah, correct. Directly.
You.
There you go, directly. Yes, that wraps it all up for this episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was good stuff. Yes. If there's anything else, please know that I'm so flustered right now. I don't know why. But yeah,
it's so the Elena effect.
But if you love this episode, please feel free to subscribe, comment, and we'd love to hear from you with your thoughts. If you need to get contact with us or with her, you just please with her, whatever. Please
Do all the things.
Yeah, do all the things. Do it all. Click.
Do all the YouTubey and podcasty
correct.
things. Subscribe. The link's here somewhere.
All over the place. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. We
Thank you for
appreciate your
coming.
time.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
Awesome. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye. And that wraps up another episode of the Relatable Bitches podcast. We hope you enjoyed our chat today and found something that's resonated with you.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more relatable bitches like you.
And remember, you can connect with us on social media. All links are in the description.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep it real and stay relatable.